At his home in Rockwall, 16-year-old Ryan Kester already has plenty of evidence of his obsession. Copies of documents and even copies of gruesome crime scene photos from the Darlie Routier case, the Rowlett mom convicted of killing her 2 young boys with a kitchen knife in 1996.
I didn't murder my children.
But the homeschooled high school graduate with plans to be an attorney and who says he is working on a documentary on the capital murder case wanted to see more. So he asked a judge to grant him access to the actual physical evidence, not just photos and copies.
I would just like to be able to see it as the jury saw it.
Thursday morning, Judge Gracie Lewis even let him briefly argue his reasons in court.
It really is what solidified why I want to become an attorney, and it's very, very important.
But prosecutors and defense attorneys agreeing with each other argued the evidence, some of it DNA tested, could be contaminated, that it will be needed for federal review of her death penalty case, and that if a 16-year-old can get his hands on actual murder evidence, then anyone else in the public on any criminal case could start asking to do the same.
Frankly, it would be a terrible precedent for this young man to get access to the materials, and I can just imagine there'd be a long line afterwards.
The judge agreed with the attorneys. If Kester wants more evidence, he can keep making the same public information request for copies. He will not see the originals.
I think I'm going to say, okay, they've decided. After I finish my documentary, I think I want to move on from this case and pursue other cases that intrigue me.
As for why a 16-year-old is so curious about a murder that happened before he was born, he believes Darlie Routier is innocent.
In my opinion, the evidence is lacking to support a guilty verdict.
A belief he can keep investigating, but with original physical evidence only for attorneys and experts to see. In Dallas, I'm Kevin Reese.